Environment transaction did. So which one talking African did? What?
2016 model with a duct-taped hinge, and the X-Plane 12 cockpit on its screen was a Bombardier CRJ 700 that he had rebuilt panel by panel from memory. The Thrustmaster joystick wedged between his knees was held together with 2 wraps of black electrical tape. Over his bed, pinned to the drywall with sewing pins, was a printed chart of the ILS approach into Detroit Metro, folded at the part that showed the decision altitude. He had drawn a small star in pencil next to the runway heading. He had put the star there when he was 9. Above the chart, at a slight angle, there was a photograph. A man in a tan Air Force dress shirt, smiling with his mouth closed. Staff Sergeant Elijah Williams, Crew Chief, C-130 Hercules, Brandon's grandfather, dead 5 years now. In the kitchen, his grandmother was already frying eggs. Ruth Williams was 72 years old, and she cleaned office buildings for a living. Mondays, she cleaned the lobby of Comerica Tower downtown. Thursdays, she cleaned a dental office out in Dearborn. She had worked the night shift the night before, come home at 3 a.m., slept for an hour, and gotten up to make her grandson breakfast before she drove him to the airport in a 15-year-old Chevy with a driver's side door that only opened from the inside. Eat, she said, when Brandon came out of the bedroom with his backpack over one shoulder. You don't eat, you get airsick. I looked it up. He ate 2 eggs, a piece of toast, a gas station honey bun, because she had bought it for him as a joke last night, and it had become a good luck thing. On the counter sat a paper boarding pass, laminated at the library branch on Back Avenue. The pass said, Brandon Williams, minor, unaccompanied, Delta Connection 2208, DTW to Milwaukee, connecting onward to Oshkosh for the EAA Young Eagles summer camp. He had won his seat at that camp with an 800-word essay titled, Why Altitude is a Promise. Ruth drove him in the dark. At the gate, Concourse A, Gate A18, just after sunrise, she bent down and straightened the collar of his hoodie. Your granddad would be proud, she whispered. He nodded. He did not say anything back. He did not trust his voice. She watched him walk down the jet bridge with the other passengers. He was the smallest person in line by 1.5 feet. In seat 3A, a woman named Catherine Anderson watched him board from behind the rim of a vodka tonic she was not going to finish. She was 53. She was a partner at Whitfield and Grant LLP, billable rate $1,250 an hour, and she had been rebooked onto this regional jet in the middle of the night after her Atlanta connection canceled. Her Louis Vuitton briefcase was on the floor by her feet. Her suit had not wrinkled. Nothing about her had wrinkled in a long time. When Brandon passed her row on the way back to 14C, she turned to Maria Rose, the lead flight attendant. She said quietly,
Adam's
Is that child
school.
traveling alone? Maria smiled. He's a minor passenger, ma'am, pre-boarded. We keep an eye on them. Catherine watched him